Okay, we are live.
I'm
Hello,
not
family.
I'm not floating in on my flying carpet this time.
You're not on your flying carpet. That's okay. Someday. So we have evened out our Hollywood squares. We have 4 today because Alisa has joined us, and we are so grateful for that. If you guys don't know Alisa, she's a dear, sweet friend who has quite a little background. Do you want to give us a little rough draft of how you got into the spirituality and the off-worlders and all this good stuff?
Well, I guess it's been a progression over the past, I'd say 15 years now. Before I got connected, like with Honey,
Mm-hmm.
I used to do UFO research. Okay, and I was like the middle guy. I'd get the information and pass it on and stuff like this here. But due to that, and then things changed, and God wanted me to get out there and actually talk about the things that I've experienced along with the information that I received. And in the process of this, God has woke me up even more. And I've had, a lot of people has heard about my major download that I got in early 2016. So, and it changed. It turned my hair white, and I got all these downloads, and I started, getting a lot of information about how, like the solar system was created, where all these beings come from, who were the main players, what were their parts in this here scenario that we're in that got us to this point. A lot of information, and I'm kind of proud of myself that I've retained a lot of this information.
Yeah, good for you.
So I figured, that I've either smoked too much weed in my life, or I've just by age itself, it has done something to me. But I really am surprised on how I have been able, with God's blessing, to get this information, retain this information, and then come out here and answer questions for my brothers and sisters. And it also includes humanitarian projects, because God has got me a part of that, and also has given me on-hand experience of seeing it, feeling it, touching it, know that it exists and how it functions and what its purpose is, and how to get everybody to that point of using these medbed facilities. Okay.
Right.
And why there's a separation between the second, third, and fourth, and the quantum med bed. I'm going to call it the fifth one, but there's a separation between that, because you have to have a certain frequency to get in these quantum med beds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the reason why they're asking us to raise our frequencies and our vibrations. Now, the second, third, and fourth med beds are mechanical, and they're going to be coming out. Trump's even talked about those, but they are not going to be able to. The fourth generation one might be able to go ahead and start healing cancer. But the main purpose of these is to help us raise our vibrations. Okay. So you just look at them as that's what their whole point is to help us raise our vibrations so we can get to that quantum med bed. Okay.
Right.
But they are because they're mechanical, they're going to cost money because somebody built them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't be discouraged about that, my brothers and sisters. Take your monies, you pray over it. God gave you the monies to do it, so that means God gave it to you, and you had the idea to go to make an appointment. So therefore, God gave that to you too to go do that. So you stay positive about it. Bless your money, bless yourself, and know that no matter what you're looking at, even though it looks like a man created it or built it, it also came from God. Don't give credit to the person that necessarily built it, but give credit to God, the source who helped it be created, so that you can have that experience. So, but it also has to do with like a placebo effect. If you believe it will work, it will work. If you believe it won't and you're in doubt, then it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means you need to raise your vibration more so that you can go in it with a more positive mindset. Okay.
Right.
Whenever you get into these quantum med beds, everybody must have a picture of themselves at 25. Okay. Everybody must have a picture of themselves. Now, how do you see yourself? You need to lock that image of you in your mindset, and don't let nothing take that away from you. You have to have a high enough vibration to know who you are, what you look like, and your little tweaks. You want to be younger and stuff like this here. Okay. But hold that in that positivity, because that is going to help you when you get into these quantum med beds, because your whole system is vibrating that positivity of love and how you perceive yourself in that love.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the quantum beds are really a spiritual experience as well as a physical.
Yes, absolutely.
So your mindset and your heart needs to be in the right place as well.
Am I okay to post Dippy?
Uh-oh. She's got a VIP card. That means that she gets to ask a question first. So she thinks she's VIP. Uh-huh.
Okay, we'll do VIP.
Okay.
All right, now, say for example, I want my energy level and my muscular level to go back to 30 years, but I'm happy with how I advanced. My age. The older I got, the prouder I got. The more I love myself. So, can you go younger? I don't want to look 7 years older than my son's. You know what I mean? That I gave.
Yeah.
My mom gave birth to me when she was 7. So, can you change internally instead of externally, or does that age you automatically?
No, it is a personal choice because there is people that come out of these here quantum med beds they're 70, 80 years old and they choose to be 40 or 50,
Mhm.
because that's where they feel like their prime was, or where they feel the most comfortable, or that's where their heart led them to be, because they have a different role to play. They have another contract to keep going forwards that requires that mold or that person to be like that to go forwards. But it is a personal choice. Not everybody's going to go back to 25 and 30. The women say that their prime is 25, men say their prime is 30. Now, there is a lot that will do that, but there's a whole bunch that will not. Okay.
Right.
That way, there's still a mixture of what we look like on the field, but you still will have a lot more younger people. And as far as like, your son and somebody's here, eventually that will balance itself out, because either he'll come on board and do it or whatever, or he'll accept it what it is. Because if you wouldn't have had cosmetic surgery, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars or something, he would accept that, right?
No, probably not. But I would not accept.
They go and modify themselves. But this is just a different way of modifying yourself. It's just regenerating your body back to
Yeah, but
healthy form.
like here's that thing. That's that moral thing that I would not accept. I would not accept myself doing plastic surgery. So that's why I feel like I don't know if I can do that on the med bed. Even though, I basically, I had energy and brightness and all of that stuff. But as I spiritually grew older, I love myself more now. So, Jen, you mentioned that spiritually you will also have an enlightenment. But may I also suggest, guys, can you find that picture, like Alisa says, find that picture, and you tell that 25-year-old that everything's going to be okay. You get that body and that mind prepared, that you overcame the obstacles that you did at that age. So it's not intertwined or entangled. Do you understand what I mean? You can, because of quantum, I've learned that you can tell a person who has been in a, let's say example, an abusive state at the age of 8, okay? And say you find that picture and you tell that picture, this is me in the future and you're going to be okay, because they're telling me that I'm getting this download because this is what I've done to other people. So as you get older, you know that you're going to slough off all of those traumas.
Right.
It's almost like your higher self at that age, at 25, is telling that other child that we're doing good. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because I feel that a lot of people are still holding on to a lot of the trauma still.
Right.
And we have to raise that frequency. I think that's why I was said to say that, because everybody has to raise its frequency before you get in the med bed.
Yes. Well, I mean, there is still a lot of people that needs to have that dark night of the soul, or they're still going through it. They're still going through the process, but that's part of their contract and what they're supposed to be doing. And we've gotten to the point now where, we're not supposed to, push and try to wake people up. It's not that they're on their own, but we've done our part. Now they're going to start seeing things, experiencing more things. It's going to cause them to wake up more, because, us just talking about it wasn't good enough. Okay. They just need more. They need more, something more that's going to help them wake up and come to this. But during this here journey and everything else, all of us have to go through the dark night of the soul. Okay. And God has told me that anything like yesterday is not real and tomorrow never comes.
Yes.
Okay, it's the illusion of it. So everything, every memory that you have, just like the memories or the thoughts that you have about the future, you created them in your mind and they're there. Where all of those from the past were also created, but you're here and now. And those things get put upon you, and you believe that it's yours. You believe that it was part of this life, when actuality it's segments of lessons that you had to go through. Can you accept it? Can you walk down that long hallway with all the horrors and stuff from your past and just keep going and forgive it and love it and realize that it is you, but it's not who you are now. Okay, because you've been everything in existence, everything. But these are the particular things that were shown to you for you to overcome. Okay, to get past those fears, because a lot of these things with us, they were put upon us by these negative entities. Okay, these negative fields of energy. Okay, they put, because they didn't want us to focus on the hallway of the straight path. They wanted us to guide us off left and right, to distract us so that we don't go the straight path, so that we're going to hold on to these thoughts that they gave us, or scenarios that we say that we've been through. Okay, and they're going to keep throwing it at us because they don't want us to succeed. And we think that it's all real, and we feel guilt, remorse, want to hide ourselves or even hurt ourselves. But we try to overcome it whenever you realize that it's not real, in a sense that you're here and now. It's a memory that is put upon you now, and you have to choose on whether or not you're going to keep it or let it go.
Right.
Okay. And you can love it because you learned something from it. Just like you're looking at that picture of that 8-year-old and 9-year-old. You're exactly right. Talk to it. I got you. No worries.
Right.
I've gotten this far to look at you and say, I got you, and I'm taking you forwards with me, because I want to show you this bright new world that's coming. We have gotten to this point. I worked really hard to get to this point to show that child that we are succeeding.
It's like talking to our higher selves, as we do now.
Mm-hmm.
When if I'm doing a reading or something, I'm pulling that energy in.
Mm-hmm.
Those our higher selves who've been there, done that. They're helping us along through this journey right now.
Yes.
And back to the med beds of, you're happy with the physical side of it, Nadia. See, I'm happy where I'm at spiritually, at where I'm a work in progress. I'm still growing. I just want to feel better, have the energy that I need to do, stick around and do these projects.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the projects, it makes sense to have a young crew, a young, healthy crew that can accomplish these tasks. Okay. But not all of them are going to be like with my scenario with my housing project. Well, I'm not going to bring in strangers to do this work for me. I will have, foremen and crewmen and stuff like this here at the upper levels that's going to help me with this. But everybody below that is going to be what's local, the local people, because they're the ones who need the job. They need the hope. They need the inspiration. They need the pride. And then when they help build it themselves, they did it as a community. They have more essence to it. They have more pride.
Right.
Okay. And that's going to help raise their vibration to get to the point where they can use the beds too. So see, it's not something that everybody's going to get to do. But because of these projects now, if you have a project, like me, I have a major project, 5 major projects. Well, because I have 5 major projects, that's going to give me an opportunity to go into one of these quantum med beds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And whenever I get into this here, it's automatically the way we go back to our original blueprint. Whether you go back to 25 or 30 or not, you will still go back to your original blueprint of your plans and your mission and everything that you had before you got here. Okay.
Right.
You will remember all of it. Okay. And at that point, I'll know who I'm supposed to go get. And I'm supposed to bring them there, and they're supposed to do the same thing. It's a domino kind of effect. But there's so many of us that's going to get these projects started. And then that we're going to work on the masses and the crowds themselves so they can see this in action, and they're going to want to be a part of it. Okay.
Right.
We're not going to force them to be a part of it. We're going to excite them, entice them, and show them how wonderful this is, and come on aboard, and therefore we can, and it's going to be a process, but it's like, okay, there's a lot of us that came from other dimensions, 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th dimensions, incognito, okay, to play these characters so that we can help wake up our brothers and sisters who got trapped here. Okay. All right. So, and there's all of us, the majority of us, I'm going to say a good 40% of us is here incognito. Okay. And then 60% is pretty much what got lost, and we're trying to get it back. Okay. Out of that 40%, okay, there is Now, if you look at a risk board, just like a globe map, okay, and you got 300 million that are the leaders, way showers, scientists, architects, all the major guys, major players that we need are incognito. Okay. And those 300 million is going to wake up their teams, their crews. Okay. So now you're getting close to almost 1 billion people that is part of that 300 million to get these projects going. And therefore everything else will flow. Okay. But it comes down in like a domino effect. So I don't want anybody to get discouraged thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to get into a med bed. No, the whole reason why we're here is to make sure everybody gets in one.
Right.
Okay. So everybody will get their turn. You just have to be patient and keep raising your vibrations. And if you can go to the mechanical ones that cost, please do so to stay positive. But I asked God, I said, well, that's not very fair that if you bring out these mechanical ones, then our brothers and sisters have to have money. That's not very fair because a lot of people are going to get left behind, you know? And then God says, well, the RVs, it's happened to me. It's already happened. And out of that, for the people who have the funds, they can buy these mechanical ones and do their own facilities and do it for free for people.
Exactly.
So that's productive for what the bad guy's doing. God's got a contingency plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you can don't worry about this here either, because there's going to be both on the field. Now, if you choose to go pay for it, because they will be coming out first, you know, then do that with a positive mindset. And but the other ones that comes out with these humanitarian projects, those are going to be ones that people are going to let them use it for free, because we know that a lot of our brothers and sisters can't go straight to the quantum med.
Exactly.
We want to help them raise their vibrations. And even the ones that's in the humanitarian projects, they still will have to be vetted. Okay.
Yes.
You know, you just can't have anybody coming in there without being vetted, because you want to make sure you don't let some narcissistic come in there, you know, and take advantage of something. So, but he can do that with the money ones. He can pay all he wants.
Right.
You know, but I do think that it's gonna very much benefit all of us, and it's going to take us to the quantum med beds. But once the humanitarian projects start, and then you get these people who do get to go into those quantum ones first and get their crew and their teams and so forth, then you're going to start seeing the results.
Right.
Because nobody's going to be forgotten. I'm sure God's got, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe 900 million people I'm supposed to go get. I don't know. But
no, we really don't know yet.
It's going to go get people, because we'll know who we're supposed to be going to get and contacting and bringing to us. So,
right.
So
now, the question's been asked before. If we do age regression, how in the world do we explain that to everyone if we come back looking quite young? You know, how in the world do you explain that to everyone? Like, what face cream are you using? I mean, what do you say?
Well, God's contingency plan on that is that there is a lot of people that, let's just say that there's a couple that's 60, 70 years old, and they have a farm or ranch or whatever, and they need to go and get their turn. Okay. Well, it depends on if they have family around them or not. Okay. But because this is a farm, it's out in the open, there's nobody really around, you know, then they can put somebody there to take care of their stuff until they get their stuff done. Now, if you have a family, okay, then that's part of your plan, your mission, your contract. You already said you were going to do this. So how do you wake up your family? Well, it's all a frequency base for them. If you've already gotten out of the quantum med bed, and just say you're 25, 30 years old, okay, now whenever you go in front of your family, because of their frequency, they're going to see you as you.
Okay.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what I got. Yeah.
Okay.
And then right in front of them is called the shock factor. Everybody has different contracts, but this one does exist. That whenever you're in front of your family, it will change, and that's going to be their wake up. That's going to be the trigger, because a lot of your family or your team members, they came to this world with you. Okay. What a better way to do it? Get your whole team in a family. Even if you think they're the most worst people in the world, you're going to find out they're actually going to be very, very.
I think we can name a few people in our families. Like, I'm not working with them, but you never know. I mean, maybe you're supposed
to. At the bed, you'll know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Okay? So you will set up something that's just for the ones that you're supposed to wake up. Okay.
Right.
So, like I said, there's all these contingency plans that's happening to make sure that we succeed in this. So even with our family members, but let's say you're in the city. Okay. Now, if you need to come out of there for a little bit, then they can actually put people there that can look like you. They're not clones. They're just their frequency. Okay. It's so that they're not walk-ins or anything like this here, but they're just playing your part so that everything looks cool. Okay. And then whenever the time comes back, then you'll know what to do. Okay.
Right.
So no worries on that either. So
I just want to clarify. You said that once we look 30 years younger, our family members, because we're in a higher frequency, we still will look the same as our age now.
Yeah.
Okay. And when they start to wake up, we will look younger for them.
Yes, because in most of the scenarios that God shows me, as they go to their family, looking in their family's frequency is what causes them to see them like you are now.
Okay.
But your frequency will change their frequency because your frequency is so high. Your frequency is going to change their frequency, and to them, it's going to appear that you just changed.
Yeah.
But in actuality, all you did was raise their frequency.
Okay, got it.
Well, the other day we were.
That's when they're going to go, oh my God, you were right. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
The other day, Alisa, we were talking about being out in public, and sometimes that our frequency is so high that no one sees us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's mind-boggling to think about it. But many times I'll be out in public, grocery store, and it's like people are talking to each other and they look through you like you don't exist. Is that because our frequency is that high?
Exactly, because that's exactly what we're doing now with the higher beings around us.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking right through them to a 3D, 4D person,
Right.
But yes, it's the same thing. So as we raise our frequencies, we'll be able to see them. And just like the lower ones won't be able to see us, just like we can't see the ones around us. Okay?
Right.
But it all gets generated upwards in a wonderful vibration. But I've heard other people talking about that out in public. That it's like they didn't even see me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a good
I did that a lot during COVID because I didn't agree with the leading people like sheep. Because I went against the grain. Everybody says walk in this direction, follow the arrows, stay 6 feet. No, I went the opposite way. No one ever saw me because I didn't believe in masks or any of that stuff. I just kept a higher vibration and walked the opposite direction. No one ever saw me.
See,
our food was free.
That's awesome. And the same thing with UFOs. You raise your frequency, you're going to see these things.
Yeah.
When Kim goes
matching that, and it has to do, you can desire it and picture it in your mind, but that raises your frequency so that you will be able to see it. And notice there's been so many more sightings, and now they're talking about them in the ocean. Oh my goodness.
They've been there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. It's been, a couple of years I was talking about that.
Well, I'm really starting to see them now. I've been introduced to 3. And I have one above my house that literally the vibration shakes the house. I can stand out there and it goes, and I'm like, hello.
Wow.
So it's really cool when you get contacts now. And now I have 3 names.
Yep.
So they're downloading and talking to me. And I'm like, okay, so I'm on the right track.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
I have been outside and had a small one that came up over my house. And I didn't have my camera or nothing with me, but I was just like, this is just great. I don't have my camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like this pulsating came out of it, a pulsation out of it.
Yeah.
Like my body was going, woo, woo,
It does.
I can feel that. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is this?
Yeah.
And they're telling me, they're just checking on me, and I think that's pretty cool.
That's exactly what happened.
Vibration that can help you with that. So you can ask for that, my brothers and sisters, and don't be scared. Stay with a positive heart. Only thing, if you stay with a positive heart, only a positive thing can come to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So I'm such a humanitarian that I'm actually willing to donate my extra weight once they take it off to anybody who needs it. So I think that heart is super big for me.
Where's that redheaded stepchild?
I don't know if he's in here or not. Oh my goodness.
He's here. He's here.
Is he?
Especially after this Thanksgiving. I mean, that's like a good 5-6 pounds right there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we had a show the Monday after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, are we going to fit in our chairs?
Oh, no.
Let alone our pants. Yeah.
Switchy pants works very well.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some questions, Alisa, if you want to help us answer them.
Okay.
I've got one in the coffee page. Terry asked, Are all Zim bonds dated 2008, 2009 AA being used for humanitarian projects, or is it specific to certain denominations? They're all going to be used. But the 50s and 100s take precedence over all of them. Alisa, do you have any information on bonds?
Well, on the Zim bonds for the 2008, 2009, the AAA ones, those are, I want to say those are the last before they got so many counterfeits in there.
Yeah.
And that's why those 2 years are very, very valuable. Now, it's
Yeah.
not that you won't get anything if you have a 2010, 2011. You just won't get the full value of it because,
Right.
especially if they're going to find out right there on the spot if it's counterfeit or not.
Exactly.
Okay? But even if it's counterfeit, they will compensate you because they understood you paid and bought and paid for it with love and intent in your heart.
Yes,
Mhm.
and they will have tracks of who falsely sold it to
Right.
you. So yeah, that's why I encourage people don't freak out.
Right.
Heaven forbid, I wouldn't go buy them off eBay or anything, but just be careful. But you will get compensated because they do know that's it could have been a half a paycheck for you or something.
Right. Now, if you get them from like the main things like the Treasury Vault,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you could those more than likely are not counterfeit,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still always that chance. But don't be discouraged on the funds or the currencies that you have. You will be compensated, my brothers and sisters. So they understand what they did to us. Just and if you have bought anything like from Treasure Vault or the currencycoin.com, they have you on record of buying these things.
Mm-hmm.
The serial numbers, okay?
Yep.
Now, if you decide to give one of these things away, please write a little note that you gift it to this person,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you take a picture of it with serial numbers and stuff like that there. In the same way, if somebody gives it to you, okay, because that serial number is going to be counted for already, and they're going to say, "Wait a minute, this belongs to so and so. What are you doing with it?" Okay.
Yeah, we did that.
Don't freak out. They're very understanding. If you just go in there with a couple of them, I'm pretty sure they're going to believe you. But if you go in there with mounds of them and say this was a gift,
Right. Well, Nadia and I use ourselves as an example. I gifted one to Nadia, and because my husband bought it, it's in his name.
Right.
But we just went and he wrote out that this is a gift. Nadia was present. We got it notarized to make sure we took photocopies and Xeroxed everything.
Right.
So there's not going to be an issue.
Good. That is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well, that was one part of the VIPI, but the second part of the VIPI is, would we be notified through the company that we purchased the Zim bond via email? And if it was, how would they notify the one who received it as a gift?
Well, that'd be done at the Redemption Center.
Yeah, but how do you know the 1-800 number to get to? Will we get it through our email? Because I'm hearing a lot of people.
Right now, you can go to dinarrecaps.com,
Yes.
and they're going to be putting out a letter or a notice to let everybody know that it is happening, and that they will put out also 800 numbers based on your area. Okay, and whenever you call them, that's whenever you explain to them what you have. Okay, now you don't necessarily have to tell them on the phone that you've gifted any, but you can if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
But once you get that taken care of, then you go to the Redemption Center. Then you can let them know then, because they will be very aware of the numbers that you have, because the place that you bought them from has to let them know the numbers.
Yep. They know.
And if you have a picture of that you gifted it or received it as a gift, don't worry about it. You're covered.
Yep.
Okay. Also, I was listening to something over the weekend, and they're saying that almost like a stimulus check is coming from everybody from the Nasara Saint Germain Fund. Do you know anything about that, Alisa?
I do know that we're going to start to be getting allotments, and that would be like a universal income.
But that's not RV, right?
No, that's not RV. No, that's not RV. This here will be pretty much like the situation in France. They have a universal income there that takes care of everybody, even if you're homeless. Okay, and they get so much per month. And now it won't be just like Social Security and SSI or anything like this here, theirs will get bumped up as well. But those who don't have a job, or those who are handicapped and so forth, or don't have a job, they can get these here. I don't want to call them stimuluses because it's a universal income that helps you to keep going. And mostly it's going to be for the homeless people. So now they'll have something to actually take care of themselves, but will they choose to do so?
Right.
Okay, so that's another problem you run into. So you make sure that you have on hands people that's taking care of this so that it doesn't get abused or taken advantage of and so forth, and be able to help these people. And mostly it's for the homeless people in America. So.
Okay, I thought it was going to go towards people for the med beds. The money would come for them to start to do your fourth, what did you say, fourth generation med beds or something?
Well, they do. Like everybody will get I don't want to call it a stimulus check, but if that makes it easier to understand, you can say it's a monthly stimulus check. Okay. And everybody will receive something. Okay. So universal income. And it's only for people that I would say, I don't know the number, but I'm just going to say somebody that's less than $50,000 a year, or somebody who don't have insurance and stuff like this here. Okay.
Oh.
And it's going to benefit quite a few people, because there's a lot of people right now that need Medicaid and Medicare and they don't have it. There's a lot of senior citizens and homeless people that needs this assistance and they don't have it. Okay. And of course, with people who's been homeless by these hurricanes and so forth, they definitely need some help.
Yes.
I mean, it's such an insult for the Biden administration to say, we'll give you $750.
Yeah.
Bitch slap right there. And but it definitely calls people to rally up and start helping one another. So I'm really, really grateful for
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let's jump over here. King, do you have any in your coffee page?
See if I've got any creamers.
Oh, okay. Ms. I'll go ahead and put one up here.
No.
Miss Mary. Okay.
I do.
Will the people we have working with us be able to go to the med beds too?
If you have a humanitarian project, yes. Yes. But understand, you can have a list that's got 100 people on there, but those people still have to be vetted. So,
Yes.
because it's not just you going by, they're my friend and you're going by your heart. But still, all of the people that you want to work with you, they have to be vetted too, because this is the quantum med bed. This is very serious. And even with mechanical ones, you're going to want to do that too. So.
Can I ask, I'm sorry if I keep jumping in, Jen, but can I ask, the pet med beds, will they also be able to go through if I have a humanitarian project, or is it the animal's free will? Does that also take, account to it?
Well, even the animals here are on contract for one reason or another.
Okay.
Now, from the medbed facilities that I was at on the islands, we do have one that is for the animals. Okay. And they tell us, well, everybody that comes there, that if you have an animal, you go into that medbed first before you do your animal, because then you'll understand what's going to happen. Okay. If your animal decides not to stay, it's not staying. Okay. Because it's done with its contract. And it's easier for you to accept that than you not going to med bed and then watch this happen to your animal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would do just like the children. The children get to go into the med beds first before you, because then they'll be able to accept what you look like whenever you come out. Okay. It won't be a shock to them. Okay. They'll accept it because they'll be a woken soul in a little bitty body.
Right. Okay. Crystals has this. Please explain planned at the age before we got here. I was a child before incarnating here.
Okay.
Be right back.
Planned at the age before we got here?
Well, she's talking about going back to the original blueprint, the plan that we had before we got here.
Oh, okay. Our contracts, basically.
Right. Our original blueprint.
Yeah.
And that blueprint is all of our information, the mission, who we're supposed to contact, what we're supposed to do, like if we're supposed to know different languages, different talents, gifts, and abilities, those will all come to the surface. Okay. And if she remembers being a child before carnating here, then that tells me that she was a child on another life, another world, whenever God called her to come here. That doesn't mean you died there. It just meant that you were raptured by God as a child on that world, wherever you was,
right.
whenever God called you to come here and incarnate here. But it doesn't mean that you died. It just means that whenever you get done here, you go back to being that. So,
What about if they were like a walk-in? What would happen there?
I don't believe in the walk-ins because of my knowledge. I do know that there's people that can come in that can look like you, that can step in and take your role for a purpose, but that's not a walk-in. That's just somebody that's looking like you for
No, no.
good intentions. So, but I've heard this before, and the only way that I can explain this is because I don't like to use the word walk-in. Let's use you, Nadia. Okay, you're at a 4D frequency. Okay. All right. Now your soul's in there. It's just like your fingers in the glass. That's all you are. You're only the finger of yourself. Okay. All right. And now if you look at yourself like a glass, your water is going to get fuller and fuller, right? Okay. Now the more you get full of that spirit, okay, it's not that you're going to it's coming down into you. And that raises you up to that next level character. Okay. It's not a walk-in, it's you. It's just getting upgraded. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you're just dipping your whole self down into your little Nadia
A
self.
different version of you.
It's a higher frequency of you. It's a higher frequency of you. So, and they like to say that that's a walk-in. A walk-in to me is like a possession, but this here is just you.
It's not actually a possession.
More of yourself.
It's almost like a soul contract where your soul, the purposed soul that needs to come for the experience, says, I don't want to go through that baby stuff. And then they make a contract with another soul to come in, and they can change their language or hate to eat something they ate before because it's like a different soul. This is where what I believe was a walk-in.
Right.
Because
it wasn't a channeling.
No, like Jen, you remember one time we pulled on me that I don't remember the 80s or the 90s. So I think, Jen, did you mention that I was pulled in from another timeline into this?
Yeah, it's like two timelines merged.
Yeah.
And because if your personality starts to change, if you remember being one certain way, and like you said, maybe you like certain foods and now you don't, your taste change, and it was almost overnight.
Yes.
That's what we call a walk-in. Maybe that's not the right term for it.
Right.
So is it just a different
comes into play? It's like your body's getting fuller of what you truly are, and it raises your frequency. And just think about, like a 5D Nadia and a 4D Nadia, and they're merging. Okay. Okay. It's still the same person. Okay. It's just a higher frequency version of herself coming into what she would think would be this body, but it's actually the same body.
Okay.
Where possession is something overtaking this body and trapping the soul or keeping the soul at bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it was possession. I think it was just an exchange.
It can also be a channeling. They could do that too, just like we see the people who have the channelings, and all of a sudden there's somebody different. Same kind of ordeal there too. I don't consider that a walk-in. I consider that a channeling.
So somewhere there's a higher version of Nadia that actually likes bacon. Okay, I'm just saying.
You gotta go higher than that.
Bacon.
Okay.
You gotta go really higher than that.
Okay. All right. Miss Linda has this one. What happens to those who have been on generational welfare? So with the RV, like they never want to work, what we call welfare queens and kings. They never want to work, and it's just they've learned it from their parents. And yeah. So what happens to them?
Well, whenever the RV happens, it's not going to be just for those who have currencies, because the countries is going to receive monies too. Okay.
Right.
So, and with that monies, it will help people come out of that welfare. It will give them an opportunity to choose to be in a better environment, to send their children to a better school, to go get education for themselves, to better themselves. It's going to give these people the opportunity, just like the people who receive SSI that might not be so honest. They're going to get the monies as well to, okay, now what are you going to do with this monies? Now I'm giving you monies that you can take care of yourself. You can pay for your meds, and I'm going to give you where you can go get another place to live, a vehicle, and stuff like this here. It's going to be their choice. And then they are going to, unfortunately, a lot of them are going to show us their true colors.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to them and allow them to make their choices themselves. Okay, but it's not that anybody's going to be cruel to anyone. But the same thing applies to the RV. Let's just say they give me $100 billion to do these projects, okay? And then I don't do my part. Guess what? They're going to take it back.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. It's not that the government is going to harm you or hurt you. It's that they're going to give you a gift.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to give it to you because they love you. Now it's your choice to do what's right. Just like those who are also have the currencies. If you get $100 million and then all of a sudden now you're just showing up in Ferraris and boats, then your intentions are wrong.
Right.
And it's nice to have a home for yourself. It's nice to have a vehicle for yourself or to help your family. But to do it extravagantly, to put you like a red light on the board is very foolish, because then you become a target. So this is also a test for us, those who are doing the humanitarian projects. What are you going to do with that money? Here's your chance to shine. Here's to show God that you were serious, that you want to help your brothers and sisters along with yourself. Because with me, I don't ask for nothing for myself that I don't ask for my brothers and sisters.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that my intentions are good, and I'm also going to have help me doing that. Now, those who have currencies, you will have access to a wealth manager. I would highly suggest you listen to this wealth manager. That's why they are called wealth managers.
Right.
Okay? They will let you know to do with your trust, what kind of trust you're supposed to have, who you can put on that trust. Okay. How do you go about separating that trust to where you buy one house, you buy one car, but you did it under two different trusts.
Exactly.
Only for those items. That way, if something happens, only that item goes down in default. Okay. But nobody is supposed to know what you have. But if you go out there and you flaunt it, that's going to make you a target, and that's not going to be a good thing. So walk with love in your heart, and God will guide you in what to do with all of this, just like God has guided me on all the plans that I have made. And whenever God showed me all this, my first thought was, I'm going to need a lot of money. So
yeah.
I'm like, and then I was like, you got the wrong person. But then I know that God's leading me this way so that I can accomplish this task. And I'm not going to do it perfectly. I might not, but I'm going to make some mistakes. But by golly, I'm not going to give up, because that's why I'm here, is to do it and succeed and help my brothers and sisters to get to that point as well.
We also need to change the mindset that, well, I'm just going to give it to everybody else, but I'm doing nothing for myself. God wants you to take care of yourself. Do something for yourself. Buy yourself a home if you need it or want it.
Absolutely.
Or just fancy up the one you've got if you need a new roof on it or so. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And, humility, yes, and humble yourself. If you ever want to know what not to do, watch those people that win the lottery, then they're broke in 2 years. Don't jet set across the world without having a mindset to take care of not only yourself, but other people.
Darn.
Darn. Yeah. He's like, daggone it, there goes the jet.
Well, I actually want a 4-door purple Jeep, convertible purple Jeep Rubicon.
Yeah.
With a 396 Hemi.
Nice.
Yeah, but I want all of the electronic crap ripped out of it.
Exactly. Amen.
Every bit of that electronic crap ripped out of it. Now, they probably charge me to do something like that, but I don't care.
That's why I want my
need my
flying
car
carpet.
to talk to me. I don't mind rolling my own windows down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think. Can you roll?
Old school. Old school.
I had that car with no power steering. It's not fun.
And then eventually get to the spaceships. I'm cool with that. So, but right now I wouldn't mind having myself a Jeep. So,
but you know what though, you have to understand, we're all light workers. Yes, we're all here on with a purpose. But however, you have to understand you are also worthy. So for me, we had to stay in our locations all this time to raise the frequency.
Yeah.
On vacation. So, I have no guilt for it, because I've done what I'm supposed to do. Come back, do my project, go back. It's time to take care and love ourselves. And if that's
absolutely, if you want to go on vacation, my brothers and sisters, you go and you have fun.
Yeah, but there's no guilt, guys. There's no guilt. Yeah. It's not like you're not going to jet set and buy your own jet and go travel. That's extravagant. But you guys, you have to understand, it is not. Don't feel guilty if you want to go on vacation,
That's
because
right.
we're supposed to be gone for in hiding incognito after the NDA.
Go have fun. That's the whole point, is that you
Yeah.
deserve, you're worthy. God chose you for a reason, and just love who you are and just have fun while you're doing it. Just
Mhm.
don't stick out like a sore thumb. That's all I can say. Just
Yeah,
don't.
we don't flaunt it.
I
Right.
think a 3-month hibernation is well deserved right about now.
There you go.
Dude, I'll be sitting with a big old lobster in front of me. It's like, bring it here, bring it here.
At least
So,
a nice dinner.
Also, guys, I've mentioned this before, and instead of flaunting it and wanting to give it to relatives or whatever that you feel they need, set up a trust for a gifting trust. You can tell them that it's coming from a grant that you got, because it is a grant basically to do it. If they all wonder, how did she get all this money now? So it's a gifting trust. So send it to them in a gifting trust where they don't know where it comes from.
That's right. Or you can
I'm
set
just
it
going
up.
to tell them it came from God.
Yeah.
Of course, it comes from God, and how many people are going to believe that?
Well, people I know would believe me because that's all I've preached for years. God's going to take care of me. God's going to take care of me. You see, God's going to take care of me. I've known it for years. And then I'll be able to say, well, God took care of me.
Well, I mean, you do these. You can do that with allotments for your kids or your family as well. I mean, because a lot of parents just want to help their kids full bore. Well, unfortunately, we got to this wisdom and age for a reason, so we don't want to see them make some bad choices. So you can give them allotments, and whenever they show you that they have gained that knowledge and so forth, then you can entrust them with more.
Yeah, stipulations, exactly.
When we did one of our workshops, one of the things I told them, and I said, I don't give it to them all at once, because if you know somebody, if they're just going to quote unquote piss it away, don't. I
That's
mean,
right.
just little bits.
Mm-hmm.
Make them earn it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I have relatives, I just want to make sure that I can pay off their house and their property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But they don't have to know it comes from you. That's
right.
If you say it's a gifting fund and it says, well, it's been taken care of, then good for you. They don't have to know where it came from.
Right.
And the new type of titles that are going to be used is an anecdotal title. And
yes.
So if people know anything about titles, if you get something, make sure that you get an anecdotal title on it. That way it can't be taxed and the government can't take it away from you. Nothing.
Yeah, they can't put liens on it or anything like that.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But the people who are rich who've done that, all of that's been taken back because it was done nefariously and illegal. So.
Right.
Well, financial advisors would know something about that, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wealth management teams will help you with those.
Absolutely. If you have projects, they will not only give you wealth managers, but they will give you mentors and crews to help you get all this here started and whatever you need. Like for me, it's scientists and doctors and architects and engineers and water engineers and landscapers.
Yeah, there's certain projects,
and then hire the other people down wherever I'm at. So
exactly, yeah, because there's a lot of things that I wouldn't even know where to begin. I have the idea in my head and I've written out my project, but I'm not an architect, so
I got a book like this here. I'm going to be walking into that redemption center with a smile from ear to ear. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So
good for you. All right, Miss Linda has this one. What happens to those who have been? Oh, I did that one. Okay. Yep. All right, Miss Cindy. How do the humanitarian projects work? Do we just decide we want to start them, or how do they know we're doing them when it comes to access to med beds and funding?
Okay.
Well, we could start with if you have the Zim bond, and you go and exchange that. That's what that money is for. You either have a project that you want to do, or you can donate to someone else's project that they already have going.
Right.
So, Alisa, you want to add to that?
Yeah, there will be a list. If you have a project of your own, okay, then they will set you in another appointment with people who will be the project managers, okay, and then they will help make your project come to fruition. Okay? But if you do not have a project and you want to be a part of a project, or donate to a project, they will show you a list of everybody who has these projects, more likely to be ongoing or something that's already happening. And then you can choose in the category that you want to donate to or be a part of. Or if you know somebody that's doing a project that is in the thing that you want help with, then you can ask to be a part of their project. Now, when it comes to the redemption centers and stuff like that, or the projects, I do know that my name will be on the list for housing. Okay, I'm in 5 different countries. So definitely there's going to be all kinds of people who's going to want to join that or be a part of that. So you can just look for Alisa Saoni if you're interested in helping with the housing projects. And that's in the state of Sao Paulo in Brazil. So anybody that speaks Portuguese will be very, very much
Nadia
able,
does.
you know. And also
Where in Brazil? Where in
state of Sao Paulo, outside
Paulo,
of
Sao Paulo.
Rio de Janeiro.
Sao Paulo, or is it a smaller state?
No, it's state of, I'm just saying the state of Sao Paulo because I don't understand.
That's redneck version, Nadia. Come on now.
That's a redneck version, yeah.
Should be well versed in that. Come on.
That's right.
I'll say Sao Paulo.
The state of Sao Paulo, it's from the coast and about 50 miles back by 50 miles wide. So, and within that 50 miles, believe it or not, there's close to 65,000 homeless people in a 50-mile radius.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a terrible city.
Yeah. Well, so if you want to be a part of that, and also have Wrocław, Poland. So anybody that might speak Polish, and wants to be a part of the housing there as well. And then I got Mariupol, Ukraine, which is now Mariupol, Russia. Okay, and that's an entire thing. That's not just housing, that's infrastructure. Okay, that's the new mag labs. That's rerouting ports and taking the train. They have all of their train tracks right on the water level. Okay, so go to the beach and enjoy that kind of good stuff. All of that is being taken and moved inland to the new port that they have so that they can make it easier coming inland and get off of that coast, so we can open all of that up, build in houses and stuff like this here on the beach areas over that way. So that's a major project because that includes plumbing, electrical, everything.
Right.
Everything. So, and then also have South Africa. So, and that it's not just South Africa. It's kind of like that whole bottom part of South Africa. And that's 500,000 people that are homeless or inadequate housing over there, or even in little bitty shacks. So anybody that knows how to speak Zulu or Afrikaan, will come in handy over in that area as well. So anybody wants to be a part of the housing, because that's what my projects are. And then here in the state of South Carolina, I got another 50-mile radius that I'm going to be taking care of here from Charleston up to where I'm at. So,
yeah.
And so anybody that's in that area too that wants to be part of housing and helping the homeless, but my name will be on that list. I guarantee you that. My name will be on that list. So yeah.
Alisa, how do you feel about freedom cities that they've been mentioned, and understanding that all this land that's been taken by this fake government being given back to the people, and for us to be able to create our own, basically the infrastructure for our own cities, to where the government is hands off, and it really is humanitarian. It's a bartering system. And how do you feel about that? You think this is a good idea? Because I think it sounds great.
Well, it'd be great for those who want to do that, because if you think about these here 15-minute cities and stuff like this here, people like to live amongst each other.
Yeah.
We can't take that away from them. They feel comfortable with that. Now, if you want to take those people out and you want to spread them further out, then they're going to complain, well, everything's too far away. And they like to be amongst each other. People like to live in an ant farm. Some people do. Okay? Yeah. And that's perfectly fine. And going forward, we're going to have that. We're going to have these metropolises where people are going to want to live together, and you're going to have those on the outskirts. It's pretty much no different than it is now. But the difference is that the cities will be beneficial to those who are there as far as like technology goes and stuff like this here. And now, if you think that you've given them access to mag labs where they can go to other places, they're not going to want to really be in a city that's combined like that whenever they can go anywhere quickly. So now they want to spread out just a little bit more. But until then, we're still going to have our cities. But we can change those cities and make them better. You can even make those buildings, actually grow things in them. Very beautiful. I seen with the vines that are coming outside of it, and that helps not only the environment, but it helps the building itself. So it's absolutely breathtaking how they have these balconies and stuff with these beautiful.
Yeah. I
gorgeous-
guess for city is probably the wrong term that they're using, freedom cities, because ours is more of a rural situation. It's more farmland, and it's
yeah.
just a bunch of co-op farms coming together and, rotating our crops. You raise the carrots, I'll raise the potatoes kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And just to kind of do that old school bartering.
Yes.
And, it
Well, we
eliminates the
should do
big
that.
box stores and all that. We just help each other out.
Well, that's what we're trying to get to, because even in my housing thing is to build. I don't want to call it a subdivision, but it's more of in a circular form.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you put everything in the center. That would be the center square, and then you have your markets there. People can just go there and barter, you get the things that they want, and the farmers who grow it brings it there. Okay?
Right.
And the ones that I've seen all the stuff was free.
Yeah.
Okay. But also you can bring in your crafts and stuff like this here. So it is kind of like a market in the center of town, but it gives everybody access to where they can walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be beneficial to everybody whenever you can grow, not subdivisions, but these here circular housing formations that each can maintain themselves because they have all of the stuff that people are doing themselves. Everybody grows something different. Well, bring it to the, center town.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
do this. Yeah.
Well, is it okay if I mention one of the projects that I was working on? Jen, I talked to you about it, and you gave what did I say? Tweaked it even better.
Yeah.
You know how some of the cities have malls that are empty?
Uh-huh.
So we were thinking of doing it for like elderly, where the atrium would be their self-gardening, growing system, so they can have their grounding, do whatever they want, and everybody living together in a mall that would have been destroyed.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful idea. So you're
Yeah.
refurbishing something that could be very useful going forward. And and I'm sure that they would appreciate it because it gives them a bigger living space and a more area,
Yeah.
to go about. And gardening too. I mean, most older people, they do like to garden.
Yeah.
And if you're giving them access to med beds to keep them going until they get into the quantum one,
Yeah.
that's going to be excellent for them. They're going to want to do things like that. Or longer walks. A mall is great for like taking walks as well.
So would we, as humanitarians, with that idea, be able to have our own med bed in that mall area for people?
And if they're mechanical, yes.
Only if they're mechanical. Okay.
Yeah. The quantum med beds that I'm dealing with, these things are on islands. You can't get there unless you're taken there.
Yeah.
They're very private. They're very secure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's not being mean to anybody. It's just, making a guarantee that you don't have to worry about somebody infiltrating or coming in and causing problems. And the reason why they can't put them, the quantum ones, out on the playing field as it is, because before we even get to that point, think about the mechanical ones that's going to come out. And now who's going to Molotov that?
Yep.
See, you have to know for logically that this stuff is going to happen on the playing field because they're going to want to try to destroy it. They want to bring people's spirits. They want to bring that energy down. They want to confuse them or deter them the best that they can. So that's one reason why you cannot have these quantum ones out on the playing field, and they're in very safe and secure areas. The same with replicators. They are not going to put these replicators out to the masses when they can't trust the masses.
Right.
So, because I did ask them, I wanted to know when everybody's going to get access to the replicators, in their homes. And they flat out told me that not until they can trust the masses, because those things can be used for very nefarious reasons. So.
Well, a lot of extremists will push the issue. Well, that's not of God. That's not of God. That'll be one of the first things that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, same thing with the medical ones. Oh no, that's not against. That's against God. Blah blah blah. Because
Yeah.
you're going to have all these different characters with all these different opinions and personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we've been through. Now throw in technology on the field and watch how these people act.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask that question, because there are positive and negative AIs. Would negative AIs try to infiltrate in a fake medbed? Would there be some people pushing a fake medbed with negative AI?
Yes, there will be people who is going to take advantage of that. I mean, it would be foolish to think that they're not going to do that. But there will be those, just like there's people now that's just, doing it for the money.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to be doing. But they're also going to want to try to tinker with people. take advantage of them, probably implant something in them or cause them harm in some kind of way to make it harder for us. So that's the reason why it's very vital for us to vet people and for you to vet who you're looking at to go. Make sure that they are credible if they're part of the humanitarian project. If somebody it has a humanitarian project that has to do with med beds, mechanical ones, you can bet your bottom dollar they've already been vetted, so you can trust that person. Okay. But if it's not and they just have their own, then I would be very wary of that. I would be
how would they know? How would they know that I did a humanitarian and I got my own mechanical med bed? But what if somebody else had a copycat or an AI and implant? How would they know? Would you have a sign that says humanitarian, or how would they know to pick you over somebody else? I'm just
it'd be because it's going to be known on what you're doing. You're going to let it be known. You're going to make that announcement, okay? And also, it's not just you that's going to bring people there. There's going to be your team is going to find people to bring them to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Job. It's going to go get them and bring them to you. Okay. So they know who they're supposed to go get. So that's what you do. You trust your team, and they're not going to let anybody come in there that's not supposed to be in there. But there's going to be those out there that just wants to go and do something on their own. That's their own free will. Some might do it out of desperation. But then that leaves them open to being taken advantage of.
It really is your integrity and word of mouth. People will know what good you're doing, and that will draw them in. It really will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Miss Cindy has this one. How do the humanitarian projects work? Okay, I got to remember to take these stars off. Okay.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, I know. All right, Jules. I've heard some people have boxes and boxes of Zim for humanitarian projects. Does this shroud those of us with only a few Zims?
No worries, because they actually thought about this way in advance, and they figured people would be coming in there and with truckloads of this stuff.
Yeah.
No, you will only be able to use so many.
Yeah, they put a cap on them.
They put a
Is
cap.
it still a cap? Okay.
It's 2 to 4. I'm just going to say that 2 to 4. I don't know if it could fall within that 2 or 4. So.
What did you say, Jen? It was 2?
The first 2 are the ones those are your higher denominations that you want to present, and then the rest of them will be smaller amounts. But they did put a cap. This has been a few months ago. They said no more than 30. They're not going to count them at all. So you might as well give them away or something like that. But why do you need that many? That's my question.
Well, that showed their intent, right? That showed their intent.
Yeah.
Well, there's also somebody was talking about a certain person. I'm not going to share his name. He's been a YouTuber for quite some time. And they said that they come, if you want a project, you go and give them all your Zim bonds, and then you can collaborate with them on humanitarian projects. This is why I'm trying to figure out who's playing games. Do you want me to say who, or maybe who?
No, we don't need to tarnish anybody. It's just we need to use our discernment.
Yeah.
And you take, if you call this number, you can tell them what you have. Like, I have a Zimbon and dinar or something, but don't tell them how much you have. They already know that. And you only take it to a wealth management redemption center. I wouldn't be handing over anything to anybody. Now, if you're gifting, do your little letter and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if someone's running a project and says, hey, bring me your bond, I don't think so. No.
Exactly. So that's one of the things that we've been working on our discernment.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I said, let me write it down just to bring it out in the open and make sure that you guys know it's your projects.
Well, and if they have marked the serial numbers of who bought them, who should have them, and that person, if they have negative intent or nefarious purposes for taking them from people, they're not going to get very far.
Right.
So,
okay.
All right. Wyletta has this one. Drones over New Jersey. Is it still good, or did it change? This is a distraction.
Yeah, it's a distraction. Exactly.
It is just a distraction. So just don't.
I don't know if it's BB or Blue Beam or anything like this here, but whenever I was looking at it, I was like, they're testing us. They're trying to keep look over here so you can't see what I did over here.
Exactly. It's just a distraction.
You know,
Okay.
and they're trying to get our attention on the UFO aspect too, because they've been talking about it a lot lately.
And
why
so
are they
many of us are like,
attention
meh.
over there,
Yeah.
because they're getting ready for all of this here with the RV and all this kind of good stuff. So they're trying to keep us distracted so that the things can be done out behind the scenes, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's definitely been a flourish of a lot more people seeing things. It's just been amazing. So I mean,
Yeah.
the ones I've seen, there's only a few of them that I was thinking, okay, that looks fake. But for the most part, I have no reason to disbelieve it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Trump coins that were bought thought they were good, be worth anything. Most of those are just collectibles, unless they're stamped 0.999, and like the silver ones.
Right.
Most are just cosmetic collectibles.
True. And if you are from another world, it's a great Earth collection that you get to take.
There you go.
So we don't have to go through a metal detector when we go to the other planets, right?
Right.
Consider it. Hey, I've already bought my Christmas presents for the other world. Okay.
Wait, this just in.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you guys that some Middle Eastern countries now have their currency gold backed. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's in process, even though we all are questioning, is it really happening? It was on mainstream TV.
The word of the year is patience.
Yeah, it's patience, but just to give a little hope, I think what's the next word in 2025, John? I'm thinking it's going to be called chillax.
No, it's hibernation.
Hibernation.
Nap time.
Man.
Yeah.
I know this already done. I'm just waiting for them to announce it and say it.
Yeah.
You know? So like I said, God told me, I'm not expecting anymore. I'm not waiting. I am preparing.
Exactly. That's what we have been doing.
I'm definitely excited about this for all of us. So.
Yep. Serena, I'd like to know if reptilians were capable of making some of us incarnate in extremely abusive homes.
Oh.
Hello, Serena. She's my friend.
Okay.
I don't know if you want. Can I say something about it, or do you guys?
Yeah,
want
go ahead.
Well, sometimes your soul contract is you need to be put in that home for protection. How? By your light is so bright that you have to be in a home to dim your light until it's time to shine. Now that you're in this group, your light should be releasing all those emotional baggages so your light can shine.
Right.
So it's up to you, Serena, to do the forgiveness. And that's also why Mercury retrograde is going through. Things are coming up to the surface so you could see if it's of use to you or do you want to let it go. So I don't think it's reptilians who put you in there, but it's something you needed to learn. If you needed to learn also what is love, you had to go through all of this to find out for yourself that you feel what love is. So it's just your learning lessons, honey. If you guys want to add anything, this is my experience. I'm sorry. Dennis? We all, if you're a light worker, you picked package B, and that's where you went into.
Well, the people who got trapped in the incarnation, reincarnating here, yes, because the reptilians and the Anunnakis and so forth, the Greys, is what caused that to happen.
Mhm.
There is reptilians that can take a soul and make sure it lands someplace else.
Yeah.
Never let it get relief. So, but yeah, they can do that and cause you to incarnate into a very abusive home for their own nefarious reasons because they need that negative energy to drink off.
That loosh. Yeah.
But those who come in here and can get out, more than likely that no, you don't do that unless God asks you to do it. So
Yeah. So it could be a combination.
Yeah.
You reptilians is a possibility, and then maybe God asked us to, so we could learn and grow and be an empath or whatever the situation is. It could be either or.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that these reptilians are our contract tips.
Mm.
That's not fair. Yes, it is, because God created everything, good, bad, and different.
Right.
We're the ones who put these things out here, so we're the ones that need to fix it. So
And
Yeah.
also, yeah, in that package, you also have narcissists. So
Mhm.
if you feel all of that, yep, you're a light worker.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Michael's. All right. There are several arcs that are buried or submerged around Terra. What is their purpose or purposes?
Well, I am aware of 9 major ones, and those are for like catastrophes, cataclysmic events on planets. It's like sort of like major to bounce back after a cataclysm. Okay, but some of them are like time capsules. Now, the largest ones are to make a world or break a world. It's like some of them going to be opened up because its purpose was to help going forwards to help us
Mm.
advance. Okay, but there's also those that are like time capsules that are smaller, and there's a lot more of the smaller ones. But those are in Pacific areas for a specific reason. Like it might be under just one country or under a state, or whatever that reason is for that spot. But yeah, they're everywhere. I know that one of the biggest ones is in Antarctica,
Mm.
and the being that was in the stasis chamber there, that got woken up whenever we hit the photon belt, and some of his Nibiru is good now. I don't want to get into that, but Nibiru is good now. And so whenever the Anunnaki came here to help with us, they were the ones who greeted this here 40-foot blue Anunnaki giant out of
Mm.
Antarctica. Okay. And of course, he was very riled whenever he was awoken. And then it just got worse because he was here whenever everything went down, as far as like the floods and everything else. And he pretty much got into that to save himself, pretty much. But without knowing that his children and so forth survived, okay, which is you get the
Wow.
Rothschilds and all that kind of crap. Or not his children, but his bloodline.
Yeah.
And then whenever he sees what happened to the world, this gentleman was pissed,
Mm.
because he knows that he has to pay for their karma because he helped create them. Okay, so and he thought everything was going to be good by the time he got woken up out of stasis, but it got worse because when he woken up, he was in the photon belt, so he's
Yeah.
screwed. He either has to fix this or he's done.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, I'm not paying for all my descendants' choices and everything that they made, all of this karma that built up. So whenever all of the presidents or all the leaders went down to Antarctica in 2016, before Trump announced that he was going to run for presidency, I'm sorry, in 2015, is whenever this here giant gave him an ultimatum: fix this shit.
Wow.
And so that's what they have been doing. And then Trump comes on the scene to become president, announcing he's going to be president. And
Right.
then in all of this here 8 years, we can see all these different things that has happened. It might not be as fast as we want it to, but it is happening. And there's people's like, when's this big event going to happen? When's this big event going to happen? I'm like, were you not around November 5th?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big event because we have all of these different scenarios that built up to that. And that was like the catapult, because anybody that watched that, you could see that red wave just going across everything, and that is, think about all the energy and the like-minded individuals consciously in that state of mind, all at the same time when we heard that, he won. Whoa, all of that energy just went up.
Yeah.
Everybody was thanking God, thank you, and everything else, because we were all on the same page, physically and subconsciously.
Right.
That was a major boost to us. Now all these other things are going to start rolling in and happening, and it's just going to blow our minds, because that was the leap. Or God didn't say we took a quantum leap; He said we took a quantum jump.
Wow. Wow.
It was awesome.
Okay. The baby has this next question. I have a bolivar that was gifted to me. All I have is the letter they sent with it and the envelope. Will that work?
Yes.
Yes.
It should be. I mean, I think the most that they would do is contact the person that bought it, and they might ask, "Did you gift it to the baby?" And they may do a confirmation like that. But you should be all right.
Right. I mean, it's not like you're walking in with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think currency may be different than the Zimbabweans.
Yeah.
Because they said you could go to any bank to cash it. I don't know.
No, you don't want to cash it.
Um,
Remember the words. You want to exchange this. You don't want to cash it. You don't want to swap it out.
and you don't want to do it at any normal bank because
right.
then you will get the lower rate. You want the contract rate.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, the baby has his so she's going to go that way. But I'm just saying, this is what was said on the other show Saturday, that any bank will take it. So it might be a lower.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will, but they're not going to give you what it's really worth. So,
Okay, because it's probably on the, what do they call that? The Forex.
Right.
They're looking at it by the exchange rate as of now, and not as of what is going to be in the future.
yeah, you really should try to stick with redemption centers because they've got the wealth management teams and they're going to give you the contract rates.
Right. The
So,
regular banks will not do that. Now, some of the regular banks that we know of, Chase, Wells Fargo, they're
Yeah.
going to become these here redemption center banks.
Yes.
So try to stay to the ones that you know that's going to be the redemption center banks.
Mhm.
And like I said, the two major ones is Wells Fargo and Chase.
Yes.
I can't think of the other one.
Bank of America.
Yeah.
All right, Colleen, we'll be able to use some funds from the Zim bonds for our housing and transportation. So for personal use.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll be able to have a percentage of it.
Well, they're going to give you like so much for yourself to keep put in your pocket.
Yeah,
But if you have a project, then they're going to give you more.
exactly.
Okay. But whatever they just initially give you on that Zim, you can do whatever you want to with it. You can walk out the door. Don't matter.
Yep.
Okay. But if you have a project, then they will double that or triple that.
Exactly. They'll at least match it as far as I understand.
Right.
So that's good. All right. Inquiring minds of our Michael here. I've been told that there's a new implant in me that allows comms to a star family member. What do I need to do to be able to communicate with her?
Give her candy.
Oh, lure her
Chocolate.
in.
Yeah.
Chocolates.
Chocolates.
Like mine were activated by frequency. When I was ready, that's when I started being able to communicate.
Right.
So that's my opinion. It's just matching frequency. But Alisa, do you have any information on this?
Well, I mean, he's being told that there's a new implant. Okay. Well, one, who told you this? And then two, why do you feel like it's a new comm for a star family member? And what do you need to communicate with them? Okay. Well, I would definitely say if it feels positive to you and you don't feel threatened or scared in any way, then that is definitely a gift to you. And it's there for a reason. I guess you're wondering, how do you turn it on and how do you activate it to get to use it and stuff like here.
Right.
Well, just like anything, practice makes perfect. So you focus on who you want to speak to. If you have a name, you can. If not, just call out to who you think your star family is and be adamant about it, and just stick to your guns. And eventually you will have high enough frequency that it will send out that signal.
Okay.
Just be persistent on that. But if that's what's happening to you, that's wonderful, my brother.
Yep.
Hopefully she doesn't have a high pitch, King. She's like,
And bring chocolates. So
Tacos. Okay.
And she doesn't nag. Okay.
Okay. Miss Mary, my project is for veterans with pets. I know veterans will be taken care of. Will my project still be considered?
yes.
Yeah, veterans will be taken care of. This is going to be a rollout process to get our vets where they really should be for what they deserve. But obviously, you can do your part, especially with your local ones in your area.
Yeah.
So-
Mary, that's a cool project.
It is. Look for local buildings or old hotels and stuff like this here that might be in your area that is empty that you can help buy or refurbish, and you can use it for that. Something or locally that shows good intent as well. Because if you want to do it right where you're at, then just pay attention to where you might want to set these projects up.
Yeah.
So, like, say for Mary's project, would that also, if she ordered that mechanical med bed too, would that help post-traumatic stress? Because a lot of vets do have post-traumatic stress.
Mhm.
So you want to get them in that and then into the housing?
Yeah, you can help them with their vibration, but it's not necessarily going to help them with their traumatic
No,
post-traumatic
right.
stress. Yeah, they need the fourth generation med bed or the quantum one. Okay, and those of us who actually get to the quantum med bed, we still have some kind of traumas and baggage that we carry with us. Okay,
Mm,
and that it can help get rid of it then. Okay,
right.
it can help us adjust because there's like 3 stages to a med bed. When you first get in there, it's like they're doing you a tune up on your chakras. It's like all your chakras are out of whack, and then
Mm,
they line them up and then they tune them up. Okay, and that gets your body aligned for the second step, and that is to get all the toxins, all the metals and stuff out of your body, and that's followed by the trauma that's in your mind.
yeah.
Okay, and then after that, once all of those things are done, then you can be regenerated. So,
Okay. Well, I just figured because a lot of veterans that I'm seeing are carrying some post-traumatic stress, and you don't want that to be carried into, you know.
I definitely say the 4th generation one, because those are going to be like the start of being able to help with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really going to be a turning thing for a lot of people. What do you mean just thinking, what? So people are
Yeah.
going to want to do that. But if you have a humanitarian project and you get by these mechanical ones, then
Yeah.
absolutely offer them to your veterans. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can just purchase that 4th generation one and then start inviting your veterans in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. Miss Angela, I just acquired some Zen. Okay. I have an idea for a humanitarian project. Will I be doing that or something different? This is about free will and what you want to do.
Mhm.
If your idea, we're always telling people, think outside the box. Think of something that maybe no one is thinking about and write down jot it down on some paper and get an idea of what you might like to do. You may have, like I have multiples. I have like a half a dozen projects that I'm going to be doing. Do them both. Do 2 or 3 if you want. Do the one that you have an idea for, and then add to it.
Absolutely.
And I believe that before we got brainwashed into indoctrination of schools and all that stuff, you probably, as a child, believed in some kind of humanitarian project. Try to
Yeah.
remember something you always thought about when you were a child,
Yeah.
because that's when we were thinking in a higher frequency than we are now.
Mhm.
Can you remember, like when we were younger, it was always just one of those, it wasn't necessarily a rhetorical question. They go, if you could have a wish, what would it be? How many people said, I want to fix world hunger and have world peace?
Yeah.
And those seem so big and outside the box. And now it's going to become a reality.
Yeah, because everybody had something back
Yeah.
then.
Mhm.
Except Zia. Zia said she didn't want to be human. She
Yeah.
goes,
Z just doesn't want to be here. She's just like, I want to be human. I know that. Oh, this child is 5. She's a sweetheart. Okay. All right. Miss Mary, will we have to sign an NDA if we have Zim? Yes, ma'am. But just for 90 days. It's temporary. Yeah, I think everybody can keep their mouth shut for 90 days. It's just a protection order for you
Yeah.
and to make sure that, we can't roll it out so fast that it freaks out the whole society or anything. But I think you can do it for 3 months. Go vacation for 3 months if you need to.
go back and visit your son, Mary.
There you go. All right. Miss Charlotte, will wealth management replace me as guardianship on my son's SSDI?
Yeah, I would say if you ask them to, absolutely. They're your wealth manager. They can handle all of your paperwork or anything like this here.
Yeah, just like last will and testament, your trusts, all of that stuff. They're going to be set up to handle all of that for you, all the legalities of it, because they want to make sure that you don't get ripped off as well.
Right. Well, I want to intervene on this because
Yeah.
I'd like everybody to know. As far as whenever you go to the Redemption Center, you start the humanitarian projects and you start gifting with trust with your family, all this kind of good stuff. Okay. And any kind of paperwork you have done or need to have done, or anything that's your own personal property, house title, car title, all that kind of good stuff. The Tartarians are going to be our middle guys in this.
Yep.
Okay. They're going to be our wealth managers. They're going to be our lawyers. Okay. They're going to be our mentors. They're going to be our top as far as our team and stuff like this here. They're going to help us succeed in this. So any kind of thing that you have concern about with paperwork or anything like this, have to do with anything like that there, it's not just a wealth manager you have to talk to, but they will supply you with lawyers.
Yes.
Somebody that's on
Absolutely.
our side.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled a Bippy. I have a
Uh-oh.
question on that.
Uh-oh.
So if we go in, when we go in and speak to our wealth managers, should we already take our card titles or whatever titles we have and move that into a trust automatically, like right away?
No, I would wait until you get your appointment with your.
Yeah, with the wealth management.
And not the first appointment. That's just for your exchange rates.
Okay.
You're gonna have further appointments out where you can handle all of that. But the first appointment's just your exchange rates. And they're not gonna let you walk out the door with anything that it's not secure.
Right.
So, but adding all of your existing stuff to it, I would wait and do that on second or third appointment. So, because that's a lot. They want to move you in and out as quickly as possible.
Right.
But make sure you leave in a safe position.
Yeah, because you'll be making other appointments after that.
Exactly.
And there you can be prepared and have all that set up to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Melissa, I have a humanitarian project. Well, I have another meeting for a QFS reevaluation.
I mean, another.
Another one? You'll have your first one. You'll present your project, just a quick little summary of what you want, and then everyone will have multiple meetings after that to make sure that you have the right team set up and to get the resources that you need.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not just a one-shot deal. You'll be going back because it's going to take a little while. Not too
Right.
many of us know exactly what
Back to
direction.
the redemption center, but you will be definitely going to see a lawyer or
Yeah.
Somebody to help you set up your or humanitarian project managers that'll help you set all that up. So.
Yep. All right, Miss Patty. The name of the title was, earlier you were speaking of.
I wrote it on there. Is it anecdotal?
Anecdotal, yeah.
Anecdotal.
AEDOTI. I typed it in there.
Okay. Miss Cindy. So if we have Zim, are you saying someone will contact us when it's time to go to the redemption center?
Well, you can sign up for dinarrecaps.com.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know they're supposed to be putting out like these 800 numbers to help people. I do know there's another couple of sites that's going to do that as well, but that's who I'm signed up with. It's dinarrecaps.com.
Yeah.
And they'll send you 3, sometimes 4 things a day, but just open it up, hit the blog, go through it, and then close it out. Otherwise, they'll stop sending you those things after about 4 weeks. So I would definitely, just look at them, open up, and close it. So.
Right.
So you don't have to pay for any per month or anything like that. You can just get a regular. You're registered on.
You have a $25 or $50 thing that you can pay that they will notify you an hour before everybody else. And I'm like, well, if somebody's trying to just make some money, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm
what's
okay
your,
with
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Crystals. Notary is at bank. How to go about it? Having say 500 aggro, 500 Zim currency, 50 billion
100,000.
notes.
You don't have that much, but
Is that-
Notary.
She has 1,000 T notes.
You have 1,000 of them?
she has 1,000, 2,800 T notes. Congratulations.
Well, good for you, but you'll be capped at a certain amount. Your best option is to start gifting them.
No, not have that much, but a good amount, pretty please.
Right.
His-
Or you can, whenever you take them to the redemption center, and let's just say they only let you use 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah,
then you can donate those to other projects. And
absolutely.
good use. So,
Who is his notary is a bank? Is that a bank?
I'm not sure.
Is this the person we mentioned before that was collecting other people's Crystal? Is that what you're writing? That I mentioned before, this group who said if you have a humanitarian project.
Oh, I don't know.
So Crystal, can you clarify that if you're still here?
Yeah. Okay. I think that is all the questions that we have.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And thank you, Michael, for your participation.
Well, thank you.
He's just been quiet the whole time.
That's what he usually does.
He's on his best behavior. Yeah. So in the meantime, Alisa, what's the best advice? We are preparing for our redemption appointments, and go ahead and type out or write out your humanitarian and keep your frequency high, right? Or anything you want to add to that?
Just have an idea what you would like to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a major paragraph or anything like this here, but just like if you were going to create something that's for a nursery, well, what all do you need in that nursery? You know, how you want it around it, inside it, or even right down to the color, because it gives you a lot of time to be creative when you're focused on your project. You know, I'm not going to say you have to get major detail or anything like this here, but it helps create the scene. Whenever you picture how you want it, what you would need to do about it, and look for properties and stuff like this here that you'll be able to purchase that you can put these projects on. Just stay positive about it, even if it's just something small, and they will help you make your project come to fruition.
Yep, absolutely. Just keep thinking positive, and we're manifesting all this happening. And a lot of people have already thrown in the towel. They're quitting. They're giving up, and they've given their stuff away. And this is a bunch of hogwash. They've been saying this for years, and you know, that's their free will to do so. Right. But that's also how God separates the wheats and the tares. You know, He wants His good warriors in there that are going to be in there for the long run. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, I had a friend of mine that wanted me to ask if anybody has been experiencing like the ear ringings or teeth, the joints or the bottom of their teeth bothering them and stuff like this here. And I myself have been experiencing like this here seasickness.
Yeah.
You know, but I can feel that energy move through me, and then I'm kind of like bouncing back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, there's some good energies going on. But if anybody's experiencing anything like that, just know that there's the energies that are moving around. If you don't have any, let's hope you don't have any metal in your teeth. You might be picking up.
They're voguing now. We're going to vogue. Okay. All right.
We get really serious here on the show.
Oh, but yeah.
Teeth are very painful. They're antennas, actually. So when you're in that frequency, you will have that teeth or ear ringing. Yes. I just wanted to let you know that I added a Google search of what type of title Alisa was talking about. So it's up there.
Yeah.
It's up where?
And Dordle.
In the chat.
Above you?
It's in the chat. Yeah, you were talking about the energy like wave that comes through. That's been happening to me so much. It's like this force comes through and it knocks me back, and then all of a sudden I've lost time.
Cool. It's not my drinking. I thought it was my drinking.
It's not your drinking. No, I've been losing time. And I cannot figure it out. So I don't know if it seems like just seconds when it hits me, but all of a sudden, you know, where did 2 hours go? I don't get it. What in the world am I doing?
Just retrace your steps and you'll pick them up.
It sets me back there for a minute. I can't sleep at night. I'm up all night long.
We've noticed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just the craziest, whether it's sleep patterns or the way I feel. It's crazy, but you can feel the energy.
Yeah,
and sometimes when there's a very high frequency, you just want to go to bed. You just want to go take a nap, and that's another symptom.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the readings I've had recently, Spirit is focusing on make sure that you do self-care. Take care of yourself. If you need that nap, if you need the bubble bath, whatever it is that you need to take care of yourself because our bodies are changing.
Yeah. Speaking of bath, if you guys can add some salt in your bathtub, so that'll help clear out a lot of cords. Believe it or not, that is taking your energy, because you also know that still negative energy is still out there and they're hungry. So if you're your frequency is a little low, they're going to try to attach to you and keep it lower. So
Yeah.
do salt baths. Get rid of that attachment.
Just love, 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 love. I know. Some people are hard to love, but love them anyway.
I know.
Sometimes I have to love through gritted teeth. I love you. Okay.
Oh, it's good. I love you so much. I want to hug you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's our wrap for the show today. Alisa, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me today.
This
All
is
of you.
beautiful. I've missed you. I know that you've been not feeling good and taking some time off. And of course, this time of year, everybody's super busy.
Yeah, super busy. It's not necessarily taking time off. You know, I'm no exemption. I'm no exemption from everybody else. You know, I had to get a job. I had to make a little bit of money, so it's been keeping me busy. Haven't been able to do a whole lot. But you know, Christmas is coming. I don't necessarily talking about Christmas, but the end of the year is coming. I'm really looking forward to that. So
yeah, me too.
Well, we have been praying for you because I know you've been sick quite the last couple of times that you.
Well, that's what happened when you walk down into George.
George, it's that red dirt. It'll do it to you every time. Yeah,
It was just like, you know, being around a bunch of kids in a nursery or something like this here, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was walking through the truck. I even told my brother, I think something jumped on me.
Well, that frequency in Georgia is a little different. It is really different. They still need a lot of cleanup there. There is somebody, Bonita. She has something that maybe should be answered, even though the questions are closed, Jen. And I think she's new here. So,
well, she has been around for a while, but yeah.
I drove a semi over the road. Should I take my currency with? You know, if you're gone like a lot, if you have a fireproof safe or something you can keep in your semi, take some of it. Just enough, like why if you're out, but most likely you're going to redeem back at your home location. So you'll get a notification to make your appointment. You'll have time to get back home and do all that. So if it's a security thing, you might just want to lock it up and leave it with someone you trust. It's really a personal choice.
Yes, it is.
Because it could be dangerous taking it and putting it in a semi too. So
that's true.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Well, what I did was I took pictures of mine as well.
Yeah.
That way, if I'm not home, I have pictures of it.
Yeah.
And they'll accept it if you go there with the
it's the serial numbers that I need to be concerned about.
Yeah, it's the serial numbers, and remember, they already know what you have.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. So if somebody ends up
to take pictures of all of it, you know. So
keep photocopies, because if you walk in there and say, "Look, I had it, and then my house was broken into, or whatever," if someone tries to redeem those serial numbers, they'll red flag it immediately.
Well, whenever you call to make your appointment, Bonita, they will ask you your area so that you'll have enough time to get back to that area.
Exactly.
You need to go to the redemption center. So no worries. No worries.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have time. It's not going to be crunch time. Hey, can you be here in an hour? No, you're going to have time to be able to make your arrangements and that kind of thing. So, Lisa, one last thing. What do you want to tell people about quitting their jobs right after redemption? Because I don't think it's a good idea right away. No. Like, my husband's not going to quit his job for a while, just for the simple fact that he loves
doesn't want to stay home.
Now listen, mister.
Who can buy a man?
I'll see you after the show. No, it's
he loves my straw.
He loves the people that he works with, and he doesn't want to leave them hanging because it would leave them short-staffed. Right. So he's going to be in there for a while. The camaraderie is beautiful. Do you have any advice for people that are going to want to quit? Should they?
Oh, well, that's a personal thing. I mean, if you feel like you should, then do so.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're going to do it because of the redemption thing, then I would think, be smart. I decided to do something different in my life. Don't say anything other than to just bow out gracefully. Even if it requires you to give them a 2-3 week notice, do that.
Yeah.
Make it look normal. And
you
just bow out. But if not, just like Jen's husband, he understands you don't want to leave them hanging. That's responsible. And I like that. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool. And then he'll find his way of bowing out it as well. So
All right.
You're redheaded stepchild, Jen.
Yes,
What is
I
he
saw
doing?
that.
I'm a quit and move in with Jen.
No, he's not. I'm changing the locks. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't recommend walking into your workplace, jumping up on the desk and say, I'm rich, I quit, and start cussing everybody. That is not a way to exit. Just say, you know what, I found something different that I really want to do. Thanks for the opportunity. We got to continue the love. Well, let's not become jerks because we're going to be secure.
Speaking of that, you know how everybody thinks how crazy we are, and we're all like waiting, and your 3D family goes, we've been waiting, nothing has happened. Well,
Yeah.
my dad has an insight. I know they have a joke with him and my brother, and he looks at me and goes to my brother, oh, be careful, she's a millionaire. And I go, no, let's get it straight, I'm a trillionaire.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
So respect me even more. So, it's kind of nice to help them out, but I am hoping that our patience will work out and everybody will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. When we're going to get to finally see each other in person. Like some of us have already met, but we're going to get to hang out with each other. That'll really test our patience, won't it?
It'll be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be beautiful. Can't wait. Well, Alisa, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
And my brothers and sisters, I just finished doing a song called 5D Christmas. So if you want to come over to my channel, you can check it out. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very proud of it. And it is for all of us. So I just wanted to put that out there for y'all to come over and check it out.
Beautiful. Yeah, Alisa has tons of music. You should go check them out. Tons of it. I get a notification almost daily of one or two songs. I think it's beautiful.
I'm just smiling because when I picture 5D, I'm picturing an invisible Christmas tree. Frequency.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, because everybody likes their Christmas songs about this time of the year, stuff like this here. And there's a
True.
lot of us that looks forward to that Christmas, even just the feeling of it coming to this time of the year, people can feel it. So I figured I would do something that everybody can relate to, but give it a twist, a 5D Christmas.
There you go. There you go. Alisa, where can people find you?
They can find me at freetheplanet@yahoo.com. And you can also find me on YouTube under Alisa Saoni. So you come over there and watch my videos as well, and then listen to my songs. That always lifts the spirits, raise the vibrations. And it's like a mantra. The more positive things you say, that feeds yourself. So,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Great affirmations. All right. Well, we're going to let everybody go. Once again, Alisa, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I love you so much. You keep smiling.
Yeah, y'all do the same thing for me, I'm telling you. But I'm excited for all of us by the end of the year. My brothers and sisters, we only got like 3 weeks left until, we're going to say December 31st. So let's stay positive and bring in exactly what we desire, because I do know that next year is going to be like no other. Just like God told me this election was going to be like no other, and he was correct. This end of the year is going to be like no other. So just be patient. It's just happening, my brothers and sisters.
So is it one more? Is Nasara actually coming before Christmas, and then this 1-800 is coming out after Christmas then, or?
I kind of think it's going to go that once this here initial domino falls, it's going to force everybody to jump on board, or they're going to miss the ship.
Okay, because that's what they said. They were saying it's an early Christmas, like Wolverine said.
Yeah.
So is that going to be different than the Zim and then the redemption, correct?
Well, I think that's going to be different as far as like those who have currencies, they're going to go off and take care of that. But this year, Christmas gift, I guess, for everybody would be them being able to get an allotment or having something per month, or Social Security SSI going up every month, not have to pay for your your medicines and stuff like this here. Those kind of things, I think, is what's going to come into fruition. Or they could have a bigger surprise for us. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to whatever God has for us, because I know it's all good.
Right. Right.
Well, we all know that. Yeah.
We're just manifesting. We're preparing. I know. Yeah. We're going to keep our vibes up regardless.
Always.
Yeah,
All
see,
right.
the other day he kept saying, every one of us, we're toroidals.
Oh,
Just want to let you guys know. Look,
oh, XRP. Okay.
I got my Ripple shirt. I just got my Ripple shirt.
Handle the truth.
Yeah.
Can you handle the truth? That is awesome. Yeah. See, I believe that like our shirts help people. Giving the vibes out in that way also is awesome.
That's
Well, the
right.
one I wore yesterday said caution. I have no filter. So,
Well, at least you were getting out a warning.
they're warning shots. There you go. So,
The one I wore the other day was that's a terrible idea. What time?
yeah. What time? What time can I be there? Yep. Oh my
And
goodness.
thank you, everybody, for having me here today. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So now
Yeah.
I'm going to go find myself some food.
Go for it. Go for it. We don't
Manifest.
Leftover
go.
turkey. So
till we get our replicators. Huh?
can we get a replicator? Heck, yeah, that's what I want for Christmas too. That'll work.
There you go. All right. Thank
Can
you,
I
Alisa.
Thank you,
replicate myself?
everybody.
Bye. Love you so much. All right. And we have King's got a show tomorrow. You do. And then he's going to host Wednesday and Friday. I'm going to make him work. He's going to earn his time back on his shows.
Oh yeah, I got tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Ooh.
So I'll
Yeah.
be busy this week.
Yeah.
I think that little
Preparing.
Lopez is going to be like, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, I put up this week's schedule. King still has to make the links for the shows Wednesday and Friday. And I'll go back and add those. And then Friday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a little private workshop through Zoom for young adults. And I say young loosely. It could be teenage years, 20s, early 30s. We're not going to kick anybody out. It's just about those who are really struggling and maybe just not quite sure where they fit in.
And maybe if they don't, maybe parents may want to understand where they fit in.
Yeah.
So, Jen, have you been getting any emails?
Well, I haven't checked today. I've been a little busy, but I will check. And, if not, we can at least have it and send it out as a recording later. We can talk about what needs to be addressed as young ones sometimes take a little while longer to find their spiritual path and what they're really looking for, what their purpose is. And we just want to offer the help that they need.
And also, during the Zoom chat, they don't have to have the camera on.
You do not have to be on camera. No. Now, if you are under the age of 18, I do need permission from your parents because that's a liability for me. But it's just a matter of emailing me, and I will send a link to the parent as well because they have a right to know what their child is looking at. I'm a great enforcer about that too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a kid, I want to know who you're listening to and what's influencing you. So
Exactly, 100%.
right. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow on King's show. I've got a packed day tomorrow with readings. So King, I will be there as soon as I can.
You will be there and you will like it.
Uh-oh.
Listen, I have my own straw. I told him, I said, you're coming Friday evening for the workshop, but no spitballs, no throwing them. He said, I won't throw them. I'm going to bring a straw.
That's right.
You have to make a shield.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for participating today and all of your beautiful questions. It's good info.
Yeah, it is.
So we're not waiting. We're preparing.
Do we want to set up a study thing for Friday or no? Topic. Because I thought of like maybe mudras.
Blue dresses. What?
No,
Mudras.
sometimes if the mudra isn't properly explained, it's very powerful.
But
Mudras.
that's why we have you.
Yeah, but that's why I asked for the eightfold path.
You asked for what?
Eightfold path of how you.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah, I think it's something that it needs to be addressed of where you are in your character building.
Eightfold
path. It is part of the 10 Commandments and all of that stuff. But
All right.
I haven't started it yet, but I think it's a good thing.
All right. Well, we'll do like we always do, spirit led. We'll see where it
There
takes
you
us.
go.
We end up in
hope I
another
spelled
rabbit
it.
hole.
Yep. Hopefully not that deep.
Yep. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna.
All right, guys.
For
I
Dennis.
love ya.
Bye.
Ah. See, that's a challenge. See who can get out first. All right, guys. Great show. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the morning for the oracles, and then we'll see you on King's show. Okay. All right, guys. Blessings. I love you.